The Tantra of Subāhu's Questions. Chapter 3. Beset with the host of afflictions, desire, and the like, the mind itself is said to be saṃsāra. When free of affliction, when crystalline and moon-like, it is declared the end of the ocean of existence. In the same way that, for example, clean water is instantly polluted by dirt and the like, so too the pure, pristine mind is polluted by the faults of desire and the like. One should select a mala with 108 beads of bodhi seed, conch crystal, rudraksha, soapberry, lotus seed, lead, copper or bronze. Holding it carefully in their left hand or gripping it carefully in their right, mantrins should complete their recitation, counting the beads gradually, one by one. Once seated with senses restrained, their body straight and steady, they should move their lower lip gently to recite the mantra of their choice. The mind is like lightning, clouds, and the wind. It is similar to waves upon the great ocean. It is deceptive and delights in desirable things. It wavers and wanders and needs to be tamed. Delighting in recitation, the mind is at peace. But should it lead to a dull state of drowsiness, mantrins should stand, move, look around, and splash water on their face. Impelled by past actions without master, protector, or support, moving from life to life in a succession of bodies, aligned with virtue and non-virtue, filled with longing, separated from kith and kin, meeting with unpleasantness, beset with desire, suffering from adversity and birth, old age, sickness and death. No one lacks these, no matter where they are. Stinging bugs, heat, cold, hunger, fatigue. No matter where one goes, such miseries persist. Thus, when the mind feels delight for an object, use these ideas to ward it off. Repel strong desire by noting the impurity of muscle, fat, skin, and bones. Douse anger with the water of affection and compassion. And against stupidity, use the path of interdependence. Enemies suddenly become friends, and friends change into enemies. Likewise, some will become neutral, and the neutral change into enemies. One should know that relationships change. A rational person should not become attached. Warding off affectionate feelings for relations, one should rest easily in virtue. Once recitation begins, and until it is finished, mantrins should not speak with Brahmins, not with Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, or farmers, nor with women, Pandakas, or young boys and girls. They can speak as needed with their attendant, and can talk a little once recitation is complete. After speaking, and after expelling mucus, feces, or urine, they should immerse themselves in water to bathe. To the highest awakening of the unexcelled Buddhas, they should make lofty dedications of all their virtue, accrued through offerings of flowers, bowls of fragrance, and lamps, and through their discipline, diligence, and austerities. Just as, for example, a river that reaches the sea merges with it and takes on the taste of salt, so too merit dedicated to the highest awakening becomes one with it and takes on the flavor of the victors. As an analogy, a person will grow rice for the sake of its grain, not for its straw, and yet when harvesting their rice, they effortlessly and incidentally gain bundles of straw. Similarly, merit is cultivated not for pleasure, but out of desire for the fruit of awakening. And yet it brings people pleasure, as effortlessly as gaining those bundles of straw. They should dedicate to obtain a long life, to find places conducive to the Dharma, to freedom from weariness, and to always fulfill the hopes of beings. they should mentally thwart the worldly concerns, fame and infamy, gain and loss, happiness and misery, and praise and blame, and avoid any evil states. Just as, for example, a human corpse will not stay beneath the ocean for even an instant, so too mantrins should not spend even a moment creating evil with their conceptual mind. Just as, for example, inside a windless house, a lamp will not flicker but burn brightly, so too the Dharma will shine brightly in the body of one who delights in focused recitation. Abstain from posturing, jumping about, dancing, singing, beating drums, and earning people's derision. Avoid arrogance, deception, and excessive desire, as well as gambling and seeking social events. Give up ill-timed sleep, pointless talk, reading and reciting literature or false treatises, attachment, spite, haughtiness, and conceit, as well as resentment, laziness, and cunning. Do not consume meat or alcohol, garlic, wild garlic or onions, grain oil, sesame, radishes, or yams, or food for bhutas, food offerings, or oblations to Pashupati. I have said that a mantrin should consume the 3 white foods, roots, stalks, fruits and vegetables, yogurt, barley, milk and ghee, oil cakes, buttermilk, boiled milk, and broth. For the subduing of pishachas and rakshasas, of ostarakas, vetalas, and masters of terror, or of an asuri's magical device, I have praised oil cakes as the best food. Practitioners engaged in such recitation should, after a day full of activity, offer recitation, request departure as the ritual specifies, then lay down at night upon a spread of kusha grass. Full of love, compassion, joy, and equanimity, they should bring to mind the Sugata, Dharma, and Sangha. Join their palms, bow to me and Shariputra, and sleep. This is how mantrins should fully exhaust their evil. This was the 3rd chapter of the noble Subāhu's questions. Chapter 4. Next to be explained are the vajras a practitioner should be sure to wield. They can measure 10, 12, 16, or 18 finger widths, but the best measures 20 finger widths. Gold vajras are recommended to obtain the state of a Vidyadhara, or any lands. Silver is the best for kingship, while copper is for nagas, the source of jewels. To destroy the magical devices of Asura lords, or enter openings in the earth, use a stone vajra. For success in all aims, a triple alloy is best, while iron is used to smash Guyaka armies. For other malevolent forces, use Kadira wood. Use Bilva for glory, prosperity, health, and riches. For success with yakshas and matrakas, use Madhu wood. And for the Dharma, one made of Ashvata is recommended. Use human bone to assail murderers, and enemies wielding sharp spears. Use one made of crystal for great illusions, while one made of neem is recommended for separation. To kill or desiccate, use Billeric myrobalan, which is always good for success with pishachas too. For success with devas, yakshas, and gandharvas, use a vajra made from cedar. If mastery over nagas is desired, use one made from the root of a naga tree. For shape-shifting, use one made of earth, and for success with vetalas, use kadamba wood. For wealth, use a vajra made of punaga wood, or the wood of rajarka, or the ashvata tree. One made of glava, marasi, navana, arjuna tree, or the like, is used for victory when battling humans. To attain anything pleasing and desirable, use a vajra made of white or red sandalwood. One should wield a vajra that is solid and 5-pronged, well-formed, smooth, and free of wear. When recitation begins, pick the vajra up. When complete, immediately bow with faith. Make offerings of fragrance and the like, and place the vajra at the victor's feet. Anyone practicing the mantras of my clan will not succeed without a vajra. Those who cannot find one should make a fist and recite with focus. Realgar, bovine bezoar, a sword, collyrium, copper sulfate, yellow orpiment, a noose, vermilion, ochre, ghee, calamus, a wheel, a vajra, a spear, skin, armor, and a trident. These 17 renowned substances bring the attainment of the 3 kinds of siddhi. Look to the explanations in your own mantra rituals to learn about the 3 kinds of siddhi. Vignas and Vinayakas who dislike siddhis flit about the host of vijas, seeking myriad ways to thwart industrious vijadaras. There are 4 clans of Vignas, of Vinayakas arrayed upon the earth, the Destroyer, Jackal, Mongoose, and One-Tooth clans. Limitless are these 4 and their emanations. Upon the earth are the 4 world guardians, in whose retinue is found Ashoka. Their retinue, numbering 70 million, creates obstacles for practitioners of mantra. The Jackal clan numbers 180 million, and serves as the retinue of Maheshvara. Their general is the mighty Gajamukha, and together they create obstacles all over the earth. The general of the One-Tooth clan is Dangling Locks, who controls 60 million Vinayakas. With Brahma, Indra, Vishnu, Surya, Chandra, and Vayu, they create obstacles for instruction and mantra. The Mongoose clan is vast, numbering thousands of millions of billions. With their general born from a topknot, they create obstacles for my clan and mantras. Nandika, with long lotus-like eyes, and Panchika create obstacles for the mantra lineage. The son of Manichara and father of Purna also create obstacles for one's own mantra line. Unhappy with practitioners, wealth, and bereft of kindness, they create obstacles according to their respective clans. They take the form of one's own mantra deities and abscond with garlands and oblations. Seeing what the Vinayakas as deities have done, a mantrin will grow angry and turn away in disgust. Motivated as they are by avarice and delusion, Vignas and Vinayakas devise this way of appearing as a deity. No deva, naga, or siddha can undermine this, not even the gods of the heaven of the 33. The terror wrought by Vinayakas can be overcome by what I have already taught. When recitation is complete, rites of protection should be performed. The maṇḍala rites repeated, and the maṇḍala entered. Otherwise, in the absence of a rite of worship, and lacking rites for recitation and homa, a person will constantly wonder, which vijja should I recite? Fixated on tales of kings, kingdom, and the like, the body becomes easy to possess. Pulled here and there in this way, the mind that chants vijja is led to distraction. Like a shadow falling on water, vignas enter a person's body. They enter some when bathing, some when reciting, and some when sleeping. They enter some when offering flowers, fragrance, and lamps, and some when performing homa. Just as, for example, a sunstone charged with sunlight produces fire without need for specific conditions, so a vigna can enter the body and spark the intense fire of passion. The vignas named shaking and trembling take hold when a person is bathing in water. They cause hunger, fatigue, and deep sleep, as well as lethargy and anger in the extreme. Likewise, the vignas called Gandharvas enter the body when fragrance is offered. People dream of kings, kingdoms, family, and wealth. They grow fatigued and become fixated on women. A being with a large black body will burst from the earth and enter a person's body during offerings of incense. Acting wickedly, it incites avarice and deceit, and terrorizes those with strong desire so that semen spills. One braid will create obstacles during lamp offerings, causing heat in the heart, sharp pain, and mental decline. Dangling locks enters when a person is standing, inflicting intense fever, diarrhea, and vomiting. Great flower array will find a chance to enter the body while one offers flowers. He will cause fevers, colds, and joint pain, as well as separation from companions. Those who are possessed by a vigna take what is not the path as the path. They are racked with desire, behave erratically, speak impulsively, and stumble profitlessly through their readings. Those with purpose are rendered ambivalent, with their minds overcome by wrong view. They constantly say frivolous things like, "There is no mantra, there are no heavens, there is no merit, nor the slightest evil, there is no liberation, and no cause of bondage. Life is pointless, rife with afflictions and hardship." Those who are possessed pick at grass with their nails, smash dirt clods, and grind their teeth at night. Also possessed are women who want a spouse but find none, men who want a spouse but find none, people who ignore the meaningful and do what is not, and those who go where they please and never sleep. Also possessed are those who dream of tigers, leopards, lions, dogs, or pigs, of donkeys, camels, cats, or flesh-eating jackals, of vultures, owls, herons, small people, or snakes, of people who are naked, ash-covered, or black-colored, of dry wells or heaps of skulls and bones, of iron, stone quarries, or houses old and unclean, or of changing faces, or of people bearing swords and spears. Carry out the ritual activities of fierce Amrita Kundalin to destroy these vignas and vinayakas. Mantrins who follow the path of his mantra are not vulnerable to vignas and vinayakas. At a solitary tree, in a cattle pen or shrine, at a crossroads, empty house, or in a forest, use a variety of paints to draw a maṇḍala, one that is 4 cubits square. Surround it with places for the directional deities, and spread kusha grass at the 4 gates. Present many oblations of fruit and cooked grain, along with other food, meat, alcohol, radishes, and so forth. Take 4 vases that are the color of a red lotus, unblemished and adorned with jewels. Fill them with medicines, grain, and fragrant water. Adorn their mouths with stalks, and tie cloth around their necks. After reciting 100 recitations of the mantras for Raktanga, Kilikila, Dramida, and so forth, place the vases around the maṇḍala and make offerings of fragrant unguents, incense, and so forth. Place someone possessed by a vigna in the center of the maṇḍala, on a comfortable seat that faces toward the east. Once the mantra is recited, and they are washed with each vase, they are thereby freed from the vinayaka. Destroying vignas is not only of benefit to people who are practitioners, it is also suitable for the royal court and childless women, for young women and musicians, sex workers and merchants, farmers, the poor and destitute, those seized by grahas and those stricken with fever, young grahas and those who steal flowers and fruit. This washing brings purity. It clears away poison, nightmares, and distractions. This was the 4th chapter of the Noble Subāhu's questions.